Nightcord at 25 o'clock is one of the groups in Project Sekai or Colorful Stage. If you're here watching this video, I'm going to assume that you're already familiar with the game and its characters, so I'm not going to go into any detail about things you probably already know about and you're already familiar with. What I want to talk about today is a pretty significant issue that I have with the group, and specifically I'm referring to a problem with their story. There's a few different elements to this issue, but I'll just sum it up in one single statement that I think explains it pretty well. I genuinely have no idea what Nightcord's story is supposed to be as a group. It feels like it's split in half, with one part focusing on Kanade trying to write a song for Mafuyu to save her and help her find her true self, and the other part is focused on Enna's attempts to reach out to Mizuki and get them to be honest with her. Basically, the story is divided, and there's little to no cohesion or overlap between the two different parts. Although Mizuki and Enna do support Kanade, they do little themselves to help Mafuyu in the same way. Similarly, Kanade and Mafuyu don't seem to notice anything wrong with Mizuki, and they don't try to reach out to them in the same way that Enna does. In this regard, Nightcord at 25 is very, very different from the other groups in the game, all of whom have a common goal that they're trying to work towards. Leonid wants to chase their shared dream of becoming a successful band. All the members of More Jump are trying to figure out who they are as idols, as well as how to put themselves together into one group. Vivid Bad Squad has the goal of surpassing Rad Weekend. Wonderland's Showtime at first wanted to save the Phoenix Wonderland Park, and now they work as ambassadors for it. Unlike all of these other groups though, Nightcord at 25 has no one goal that the entire group shares. Because Nightcord at 25's story is so divided, I also find their group chemistry to be severely lacking. I think they're actually even worse than Vivid Bad Squad in this regard, because at the very least, VBS has the common goal of surpassing Ride Weekend. Each member of Nightcord at 25 has their own story, history, and development. Kanade is traumatized by what she believes her music did to her father, and now she strives to write music that can save people. Mafuyu struggles with not knowing who she truly is, which is largely due in part to her manipulative mother. Mizuki just wants to live as their true self, but they often face judgment and criticism from other people for this. Enna has a lot of self-confidence issues related to her art, which really seems to stem from some things her father said to her when she was younger. Although I think each character's individual stories are well done, and I truly do love all four of them, they don't really come together to form one cohesive whole. With the other groups, individual characters certainly do have their individual stories and plotlines and development, but even then the threads come together in a way that form a common goal or story. With Nightcord at 25, the knot that ties the threads of the individual characters together simply isn't there. Additionally, each of the other group's goals relate to their career or dreams of pursuing music or some kind of performance. But Nightcord at 25 doesn't have that. In fact, their activities as an online group seems more like a side thing in terms of their story. So is there a way that this could be fixed? Probably. I mean, of course there is. There's hardly any aspect of a story that can't be fixed in some way. The issue is I don't have any specific ideas for how this issue could be remedied. Nightcord at 25 needs a common goal for all of the group members to work towards. Simply giving them something like that could greatly improve on a lot of the issues that I have with their story. Since I play on the English server, which is a whole year still behind the Japanese server, I'm hoping that in the future things with their story will get better, but for that I'll just kind of have to wait and see. Nightcord at 25, even on a surface level, is already very, very different from the other groups in the game. They're the only group that operates entirely online, and their individual histories and stories are surprisingly dark compared to the other characters in the game. That being said though, I do think all the groups are rather unique, and you can't really say that one group is entirely like another, and I think that's part of what makes the game so interesting and fun, is how varied the characters and groups are. Nightcord at 25 being immediately different from the other groups isn't a problem, but it does exacerbate the issue. Because they're so different and they stick out more, it's a lot easier to see the glaring issues with their story, or their lack of one. That's about all I've got to say though. I just found the lack of cohesion and unity in Nightcord's story to be really annoying, so I figured I would talk about it because I truly do love all 4 of these characters and I think they deserve better in terms of the story. Let me know what your thoughts are. Tell me if you agree, if you disagree, why or why not. You know, all that sort of thing, you know the drill. But that's completely it for now, so have a good day and I'll see you in the next one.